in technology or the bank or LexisNexis cannot have access to the operating system. Our IT department that have access to the operating system cannot have access to the application software, which is controlled by the engineering department. So in order to have a breach of security, there needs to be collusion across organizations and collusions across departments. And that's something that we have to ensure, because in a normal company, there is always somebody who can physically kick the disk drive, reformat it, access every document, and alter it. Usually there is always somebody who can do that. There is not one single person with a service like NetDocuments that can do that. So we have to go through this type of extent in order to assure document security. Right? We check employees' background. We provide the absolute best network security that technology can provide. It is not just enough to have firewalls. We need to have an intrusion detection system. And then we have to put in an intrusion prevention system at 2 layers. At the application layer, which is the layer 7, or at the network layer, which is the layer 3. So we have to provide all of that type of stuff to ensure high degree of network security, and then build in everything in the application security, and then provide very strict controls so that only certain type of workstations can access the VPN into the data center, that no devices that are working on those PCs that can remove documents will actually work. So if you have a USB drive, it'll become disabled just by authenticating into the Active Directory domain of the services. So by providing all of this type of security infrastructure, then we can safely say, yes, we can provide higher level of security, because who usually think in terms of document security to this extent in a private organization? It's almost non-existent. So we have to go through this in order to operate credibly in the cloud. The same thing is with our cloud contractual issues. We have to put in guarantees of performance, SLAs, uptimes, with money-back guarantees if something is not achieved. Guarantees on privacy and confidentiality. This is very, heavy clauses in there. Disclosure of data location. That's why we have not yet succeeded in utilizing the public cloud, because frankly, nobody knows if you put in under an Amazon AWS or a Microsoft Azure where your data is really at. You know the region, but you do not know the specific data center. And people usually demand us to do this. We have attempted with our customers to try to say, okay, is it time for us NetDocuments itself, instead of having our own data center, to go to the cloud data center? And that step has not yet succeeded, because people want to know, where is my data? So they want to know, it is a LexisNexis facility. It's located in that commercial bank, where it is federally regulated, etc. So we have to have that kind of a clause. Clarification of data ownership. The data is owned by you as a customer and never by us. We are just a custodian, of your documents. We have to be explicit in terms of the recovery time objective and the recovery point objective. Recovery point objective, it means how much data loss, will we have in case there is a catastrophic failure. Recovery time objective, after a disaster is declared, how long would the backup data center, be up to take over the operations of the primary data center? We have to be explicit on that in our contracts. And all this, the definition of the support and escalation procedures, and in terms of exit strategy. If I don't like you, NetDocuments, what it would take for me to just recover all of my documents, and how long will it take, to move it to different platforms. These are clauses and issues, legal contracts that we did not have to face, as an on-premise vendor. But as a SaaS vendor, it is a real issue. And these are the things that you may want to be very careful, in your relationship with cloud vendors. How are they addressing, these issues? Okay. So just wanted to let you know a little bit here. We wanted to have a partner here in the European Union. We wanted to create a seamless environment, eventually where there is total federation across the, both data centers, both primary data centers and the cloud. And we look for a partner, that could work in our strategic objectives. We are very pleased, that we did get together with N-Technology. We're very happy with, first, their compatibility of platforms, that we have. They are very sensitive to our time-to-market needs and the rapid, deployment. We're happy with their market presence. We are very happy with the way that they have been able to work with us and our needs. Impressed with their technology, with their people and their vision. Very grateful for their existing virtualization technology, because if you think about it, we have that huge infrastructure in the US. We want to migrate here to the UK. We can have a huge amount of money to just invest in all the hardwares and storage and everything else, or can take advantage of somebody's virtualization infrastructure, which we did, in which case it will diminish the initial impact of the buildup of the data center. And they're just the right size company. We investigated 4 or 5 other vendors. We settled with them, and we feel that we made the right decision. So in May of this year, we intend to have our services up so that people can start using here in the UK, and then maybe a month after that, then it would be fully available in general. So what's the result of us being a cloud vendor and N-Technology being the key provider for us? So in the UK, we will have 2 data centers, a primary data center in Harrogate and a backup data center in London. We will have data replication going continuously across both data centers, and that's for documents, databases, search engine, and directory services that is constantly replicating across. That is viewed by the end user as an internet cloud, so that workstations can just simply access and connect and have all of their documents available. We echo documents to the workstation itself, so that you can establish a policy. Maybe documents that I access stays in my computer, my PC, for let's say 90 days or whatever the time is. And during that time, if nobody else has changed the document in the cloud, and I want to retrieve the document, then it's readily available on my PC. So it serves as a cache mechanism, and it also serves as a technology for high availability. The internet can be down, I can still edit my documents, and everything I edit will automatically synchronize. If I have my laptop, I don't have to think about what documents I need on my laptop. If I don't have internet access, I can just take my laptop. All my documents are already there. I can create new documents and edit the existing documents. It will sync up back when I have the internet. We also have the concept of a local document server. This is one of those vestiges of fear in the internet. So what we tell you is that every X number of minutes, let's say every 30 minutes, every document that is created in the cloud in behalf of the company is automatically replicated back into a local document server. Why do we do that? So that you can hug your documents at night, right? So you have the comfort feeling that it is local, it is there, that all of your documents are there, and all of the metadata associated with the documents are there, all of the security information of the document is there, and it's stored in an XML format in a directory structure. All the documents are in their native formats, whether they be PDF or an image or an Excel document is still there. If you want to say goodbye to NetDocuments for whatever reason, you have your documents right there, and you can just migrate it to someplace else. It's something that we have to do early on. And what we're also doing is to provide high-speed internet access, because we suspect that our UK facilities will be the central facility not just for European Union, but also for Asia Pacific. people prefer to have their documents in the UK than in the US, believe it or not. Even if you're in the Asia Pacific region. So we're utilizing technologies like Akamai, Cotendo that will accelerate document access over just the naked internet. So you can actually have higher speed, 2x, 3x times, and we're putting these direct lines to multiple locations. And so the result of this partnership is that we will have high availability, we will have cloud computing, the documents can also be local because we have the local document server in the Echo, we have UK data centers, we ensure performance, and then access anywhere. And that's the story of NetDocuments and the cloud. So at this point, I can answer any questions that you may have. Yes.
I feel kind of guilty for asking a question at 2 o'clock in the morning for you.
It's 3 by now, right?
Just a quick question around how you can improve your DR position. How can you prove that you can meet your SLAs without actually switching to disaster recovery? Is that what you have to do? You have to do a full DR test, or if you've got a mechanism you use to be able to prove that you can provide the RTOs and RPOs that you say you can? Yeah,
so we are audited by an independent accounting firm. That's a SAS 70 certification that we have. They actually audited, we just went through an audit about 2 weeks ago. Now we have to prove it to them. They look at that and they went through the process. And then actually every week, right now in our US data centers, we transfer portions of the computing services to the DR center, like the search engine, which is probably one of the most important aspects. Every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we actually transfer it to the DR center to make sure that it is exercised. So we have to do that. It's a lot of work, but it's a good question. Do you have a question over there?
Yes, you mentioned that you can apply search across the document repository. Can you use third-party enterprise search engines? I'm thinking in terms of not the sort of like the word searches, but things like autonomy, stuff like that,
right.
Using
like the autonomy idle engine, Recommind, Vivism. Yeah, we have done that. When we first started, our search engine was good, but it was not exceptional. Right now, we utilize the Microsoft Fast search engine. It's an engine that is built into the high-end SharePoint, and Microsoft spent $1.4 billion buying it from some Norwegian company there. So the need of doing that to supplement NetDocuments searching is no longer there because it's just as good as it gets. We have like 70 languages that they support. The latest one was Estonian. So of course we support Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese. Those are but people say, well, I still have my repository, and I want to search on a federated search with you. Microsoft Fast does search federation. It will do relevancy ranking across multiple data sets. But we have had also users that deploy the Google Search Enterprise, and in fact, the local document server works very well because you can crawl it, and then you can search across. And LexisNexis has a search technology called Lexis Search Advantage, that does all kinds of nice things. Same thing with Thomson.